Okay, I'm going to
Move the show to see what kind of criteria they have to deal with. Just to keep them working.
I like that Western. I like what? I've been leaving the windows open at night, sleeping really good. So Gary,
I'd like to have
They coming?
Is where Dana is at, going west towards Sweetfield Farm. Like back in
There must be doubling batteries around anywhere, and some of these mics are dead.
Right, exactly, exactly.
One was down in Fairmount.
But see, like the lane where Dana's at.
Gary's not coming?
I didn't think about calling people until like 3 o'clock this afternoon, so I just didn't do it. Let's see here.
We will bring the June 24th, 2026 Data Center Subcommittee meeting to order. If you would, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Todd, roll call vote, please.
Randy Atkins,
Here.
Gary Duckwall, Molly Early,
Here,
Cale Grindle, Ed Hartman,
Here.
Nolan Holloway, Bud Shelton. Here.
Okay, I want to thank everyone for coming tonight. This is a subcommittee meeting to review a data center ordinance draft. This is a volunteer committee. No one is getting paid to serve on this committee. The subcommittee is composed of 3 community members: Molly Early to my right, Bud Shelton to my left, Nolan Holloway is not here this evening, and 4 APC members, which would be Ed Hartman to my right, Gary Duckwall is not with us, Cale Grindle is on the end, and I'm Randy Atkins on the APC. Subcommittee decisions are non-binding. Our goal is to review the ordinance draft by section and/or page. We want to honor community input and discussion and revise the draft if needed. We will target ending tonight's meeting at 8 p.m. We will schedule another subcommittee if needed. This is our 4th subcommittee data center ordinance draft public review and discussion meeting. The draft is 37 pages. We are ready to start with letter L on page 16, traffic and construction management. If you have not attended all the meetings, you are encouraged to watch the meetings you have missed on our Grant County YouTube site. The meetings prior to this one are May 18th, 27th, June 10th on 2026, and it's under Grant County Government 8878. And I believe that all those meetings should be available online for those of you to review. We're going to ask that any discussion out in the audience be kept somewhat low if you can, because some of the folks that have viewed the meetings online are picking up some of that chatter, and it's making it difficult for them to hear, the discussions taking place up here. So, with that being said, does anyone have any questions about what I've just shared with you as far as what our goal is? I will emphasize that we will have an opportunity at the end of the meeting for any general discussion associated with views on data centers. But what we're going to ask is that if you want to share before we get to the end of the meeting, we're going to ask that you keep that discussion relevant to whatever topic that we're talking about, because, we're on page 16 and we're into our 4th meeting. So, we are having a lot of discussion. We just want to keep it targeted so that we're not here in January trying to do this thing through. So Appreciate that. All right, with that being said, we're going to open it up, subcommittee members, for review of letter L, traffic and construction management on page 16. Are there any of those numbers 1 through 5 on this page? Did anyone have some discussion or comment to make?
On number 1, the word shall. I know we keep going back to this lovely word, but I believe it should be will, not shall be required. Will be required.
You okay with that, Cale?
No. Why?
Because they should be required, not shall be.
That's what shall means. Shall is a legal word that means must, required.
Okay, I just know we've changed it in other areas based upon that same kind of idea.
Depending on what you're trying to accomplish.
So basically, you're saying shall and will are basically going to indicate the same thing.
Yeah, but shall
It's an absolute.
is more of a legal term.
Okay, so it's an absolute, it has to occur.
Yes.
I think that's what Molly's point is. We
Correct.
wanted to make sure that it occurs.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, anything on number 2? We okay with that one?
Yes.
The bond would simply pay for any repairs necessary due to damages, is that correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 3,
The one thing that is not included in number 3 that I'm not seeing is drainage. I don't know how to put that in necessarily, but I do think it's important.
do we address drainage?
We address drainage in another section.
Okay,
I guess,
In M, section M is drainage agreement and road use and maintenance agreement.
so Todd, who will this logistics plan be given to and who's going to enforce it? Is that code enforcement through APC that's going to enforce this?
I think it's, from what I've heard from other counties with other large projects that expand a lot of distance as far as mileage, like wind and solar projects. It's a collaboration between the area plan and the highway, because the highway's out there all the time anyway, and they take a lot of pride, and it's their job, right, to keep the roads up. And so they have nice new roads that have been put in by the companies. They want to keep them that way. So,
Okay.
and then there's also law enforcement from, running stop signs and that sort of thing. So I think it's a collaboration.
It could be a shared mutual responsibility to monitor and enforce.
The APC can lead that effort.
Okay. Okay, number 4, everyone okay with those hours? I'm assuming everyone got a copy of what we're discussing, I hope?
There's copies. There's still copies in
Okay.
the table.
Any comments about number 4, the hours of operation, construction?
just that last part, in the last meeting, you guys took out the modified by future ordinance amendment.
Yeah, take that out too.
Okay.
So remove that.
Do you want board
After-
BZA? BZA for special exception?
Yeah,
Okay, so we want to change board to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
yeah,
We want to take out our modified future ordinance.
right.
Okay. Everybody okay with those changes? Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to 5.
Unreasonable.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
What does
it is.
that mean?
Maybe we need to put a limit. Noise. That can be kind of tough with large trucks. But
Because Yes, construction noise is obviously going to be different than actual operational DBA or DBC noise. So,
You could actually take out unreasonable and it would still have the same effect. When you get to the beyond those ordinarily associated with construction.
What do you want to do there?
Just take out unreasonable.
Everybody okay with that?
yes.
Okay.
Should we change board to
BZA?
BZA?
We don't want to put a numerical value of noise in there? Good.
Yeah, I don't know that.
Hard to establish that.
Yeah.
What it should be.
Any other, are you, Secretary Clancy, are you with us?
Yes. I'm also going to suggest that, if a resident would have an issue, they could appeal to the BZA. Give a resident a mechanism to make the appeal for the BZA to act. We have the BZA can act in here, but we don't have a mechanism for the resident.
Okay,
I would agree with
Maybe
that.
they contact the plan commission office,
To make
make
the
arrangements
appeal,
for the
right?
next meeting or something like that.
To put it in an official place for them to make the appeal.
The complaint process, because you do have a complaint process.
Okay.
So leave it out of number 5 and apply it into the letter that goes under complaint.
Well, maybe it's just follow the complaint process.
Okay.
Yeah.
does that work for everybody?
Okay.
Good with that, Todd?
Yes.
All of the complaint process.
We just go back to number 4 real quick. Are we limiting those hours to construction only? So what about deliveries and trash and just general activity not associated with construction?
Change it to activity, construction and activities associated with the development?
I don't have any recommendations, just asking.
Construction and/or construction delivery. Material delivery of construction materials.
So what else could come besides delivery?
Lots.
Huh?
Lots of stuff. Probably more than we can.
Imagine today.
Yes.
Thoughts, Mr. Glancy?
So we include material delivery and the trash disposal?
You could say, instead of construction activity, so no activity in association with construction.
Shall be permitted after those hours.
Yes. I like that. Activity kind of gives us a broader definition of what could occur.
So no activity relating to construction or during construction after set hours.
Yes. Got that, Todd?
Yes.
Okay. Are we through with page 16? Perfect. All right. We'll roll to page 17. Number 6. Change the board to BZA.
Yeah.
Okay, number 7. Everybody okay with 7?
Well, purely question, is it redundant if we are telling them in 4 they can't have anything after 5 o'clock anyway?
No, because this is just identifying that traffic.
So we're requiring them to, if they are anticipating, like in the beginning, a ton of activity, they need to report that. Okay. Just
Well,
making sure I understand
Any
it.
requests for construction hours beyond those established. So I think what you're asking is, do we need that? Are we going to allow the Board of Zoning Appeals to make an exception if they file for one? I think that's what that says. How do we feel about that?
Let's say from 2 to 5, they're gonna have a lot of deliveries or a lot of traffic. You know, one, our highway department needs to know, and the sheriff's department needs to know to control traffic if it's that heavy, right?
Right.
Or if they're gonna block the road.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is they're not going to do it without approval from the Board of Zoning Appeals then in a public hearing. Correct.
Yeah.
So it's going to be transparent.
Just
Okay.
making sure I understand it
Yep.
in all
Okay.
aspects.
Everybody good with 7? Okay, 8, we're going to change board to BZA.
May, do we want to change that to shall?
Because that requires the BZA to do something. May means they can, or they don't have to.
Right.
Yeah, they'll be going off the advice from the highway department on route limitations, timing restrictions to protect county roads.
Well, advice
Yeah.
is not, you know, you don't have to take it. So I think that should be shall.
If the board puts it in to the special exception, then it will be a shall. This is,
The board chooses.
board may consider these things, and it's up to the board to put it in to, as a requirement. Doesn't matter to me, we can change that to shall.
It gives the board the option
Right.
of either or. Okay,
So are we leaving it at may?
yes.
Okay.
If not, they have to impose haul route restriction. If we put shall.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying if I was a property owner that was adjacent to this data center, potentially, I would want to know an exact route that trucks and things like that can go up and down. So that way, maybe I don't want to take my brand new Corvette or whatever else down a road that could have
That's
construction debris.
That's number 10.
Yeah.
That's in number 10. Okay.
So, what about 9? Give 9?
Yes.
Is there signage required with routes of delivery?
Make sure we put it in there.
Yeah. I know over in Blackford County, that's what they're doing, all solar deliveries here. We did that as well in Logansport.
Same with Howard County.
Yep. So there's going to be some signage for routing.
So does that need to go back in under the signage portion? Or does that need to be an additional number under construction?
I'll make the note and we'll stick it in. But the routes need to.
Don's going to stick in signage.
Okay,
It's the concept that we need to get in, and, we'll go over all of it again. So,
sure. So,
That's a really good point.
It looks like it could fit under number 10. Determining the route.
Okay. Everybody good with 10? With the possibility of that signage being added there?
The first part seems kind of weird. If the proposed route includes any public road, which it has to, unless they're flying in construction material, they have to use a public road.
So we want to take out that if the proposed route includes any public road and just say the route shall be,
Reviewed.
okay?
Yes.
That's gone.
Other than the highway department or the sheriff's department, what other authority has jurisdiction? Because it says, or other authority having jurisdiction. Should we be more specific about who that authority is?
Is EMT taken into consideration anywhere in case there's an emergency vehicle necessary to go down?
Is the what?
EMT.
EMA?
That's what, okay. EMT
I
be a
don't think-
technician, right? Yeah, okay.
I don't think I have them in there at all.
Okay.
I don't know if that's their role. I'll have to ask.
I guess as long as we can be assured there's no restrictions for them to get through.
Yeah, just that
roads.
they would notify any emergency personnel, police or EMA.
Okay, 11.
Who is doing, so we're requiring landowner, leasing, applicant, whomever to do this pre-construction baseline survey. Not a third party or our own highway department. Is that how I'm reading that?
Oh, that's how you're reading it.
It would be good to have a third party.
Well, it says in coordination with the Grant County Highway Department.
Right.
So the highway department will have to see it to make it acceptable to them.
Are we okay with that?
Yes.
I definitely think the highway department needs to be included in that.
I agree with that. I just wondered if
Okay,
we were, I was making sure that we weren't saying that we were just gonna take their word for what it was, that we would have
Right.
an oversight.
Yeah. I just know that when we've had videos taken in town of Fairmount, we've required the contractor to do it. And sometimes if it's not up to the quality, which you said, the highway department would take care of looking at the video. But a lot of times it's some of the issues aren't definitive. So they would have to sign off on that. But that's the only input I would have, is make sure that they look at that video.
okay. We go to 11? Moving to 12. Variance coming from the BZA?
I think we should make that specific in there.
Grants BZA, it'd be a
Yeah.
public hearing, correct?
Right.
I may reword that a little bit to make sure that it's clear that it goes to the BZA.
Okay.
But the executive director doesn't have the power to just start making willy-nilly changes. And I'll probably put that in, review that throughout the document.
Okay.
Okay, so we're adding BZA and public hearing.
Okay, anything else on 12? Yes.
Where, in all cases where it says the applicant, owner, and operator, are we using that terminology on purpose? And the reason I ask is because if we were requiring somebody to do something, are we requiring all three to do that thing?
From the APC's perspective, any discussions that we've had, we're going to make sure that everybody understands that they have an equal shared responsibility to make sure that this request is met. And if you just put one in there, I think you have more accountability when there are more than one stated.
So what happens if,
Because we get in discussions about, is it the contractor's responsibility to get the permits, or is it the owner's responsibility to get the permits for construction? And it's just as equally the responsibility of the owner as it is for the contractor, because if no permits granted, the owner says, well, I didn't know about that. Well, yes, you do have that responsibility. And I'm sorry that your contractor didn't share your shared responsibility with you. We've had those issues in APC before.
yep, see that,
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
but what happens when one party decides, nope, the other two have already done it, I don't need to do that?
I don't think they're all required to. I think as long as one of the three get it done, that's what we're asking.
So that's why I'm asking if it should stay applicant, owner, and operator, or applicant, owner, or operator.
I say leave it and the reason why I say that is because as you research just in general data centers across the nation, the owner is not always the same as the operator. The developer is different than the person that ultimately comes into the data center.
Regardless of all that, are we requiring all three to do whatever it is that's staying?
Unless they're combined, could be one person, right? Could be an owner and operator.
Could be all three at the same
Right,
time.
so it wouldn't
But if
be-
there's three separate ones,
Right.
why are we needing all three to do the exact same thing? If the plan is approved by the board, one is sufficient.
Nope. I think we want to keep all of them involved.
That's fine, if you want to
informed,
do, okay, that's fine.
and liable.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, I think liable. Because if they're on there, they are liable. None of them escape. Well, he's supposed to do that. Well, no. It says all three of you should have had.
Right. Oh, I'm broke.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're all going to be LLCs.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're doing that on purpose and not just an
Yeah,
oversight.
the and is on purpose.
Okay.
And I'm thinking we ought to add developer in there.
Okay?
Any other terms?
No.
Okay.
Now we got a little bit of 13 on page 18 before we approve 13. Now, how are we measuring dust control?
Is there a current ordinance for the county when it comes to construction on dust control? Or,
Probably not, because we allow a new facility to have a gravel driveway and parking lot for a period of time.
right,
I think it's what, 6 months?
Well, we don't want to get on farmers now. We farmers have a tendency to stir up a little dust.
Well, this is during construction,
Okay.
okay?
Well, I had
You
just,
can get a lot of dust from construction and heavy equipment coming and going. So, and it could take a while to build that place. So if they're not required to keep it down by bringing in some fresh gravel once in a while or
Watering it.
watering it, is it-
yeah, I had made a note that just construction dust remediation to prevent undue damage to adjacent property owners and homes and their HVAC systems.
So we got to work on some dust control here. All right, so we're going to make a note that we're going to look into measured dust control. Are you good with that, Todd?
Yeah, the way this is worded, I'm thinking we should have a dust control plan that the BZA during the special exception approves.
Right. I agree with
Right,
that.
and then
Yeah.
the A-bird,
Burden on them to give the plan and we can.
yeah, they put the plan together and then the APC, the office, code enforcement, can make sure that they're abiding by the plan. And if the plan's not working, then it goes back to the complaint process.
Okay.
Talking about a plan that is good for anything, any construction in the county and not just for this.
Well,
Because if you're
the
gonna do-
company will come with their special exception and say, here's our dust control
Well,
plan.
I'm just saying, kill two birds with one stone. If the county doesn't have one, create one for the county and just make it apply here.
That's quite a process. I think we need to focus right here. And if we want to apply this to the other process, would be area-wide zoning ordinance, and that's a whole nother activity.
Something to probably think of for the future then.
There you go, Cal. Okay, are we good with that then? We're gonna look into a dust plan. Todd's gonna work on that. 14.
Add developer is where
Okay,
applicant, owner, operator, and developer.
now here again, who's this plan going to be presented to and who's going to approve that these plans are okay? Maybe I'm a little dense tonight, but I don't know.
And comply with what best management practices.
well, our county
Yeah, that's
surveyor takes care of that normally.
So it should
He
go-
looks at, do you have erosion control? Do you have that little fence up, so to speak, that prevents erosion? Have you,
So we want to
What are you doing
engage
on
the
that?
surveyor in this.
yes, I think so.
Okay. Number 14, we're going to engage our surveyor.
So if you're grading more than an acre, unless you're an ag, you have to get a grading permit. And that goes through land and soil.
Okay,
And then within that, there's a plan in which what you're supposed to do for erosion control.
now where does the grading permit go?
Land and soil.
Soil and water
Soil and water.
conservation.
Yeah, soil and water conservation, yeah.
Okay,
Now, another place we need to update the ordinance is our grading.
right, correct.
That's another, got a long list.
Okay,
So are we adding any language to that it should, or is it just understood that it has to go through soil and water?
well, part of it would, the drainage plan is going to be the surveyor. That's going to be Raymond's responsibility. So there's going to be some shared efforts here to make sure that this plan meets its requirements.
So do we need to add that language in erosion control requirements that are required by Grant County Surveyor and,
We're gonna let Todd rework this.
Yeah,
okay,
put in there something like it's approved by the surveyor, county surveyor, and Soil and Water Conservation Board.
Because they'll get a grading permit.
Yes, you're good with that?
Yeah, grading permit equals soil and water gets
All
included.
right, we're moving to 15. We're gonna cover some ground, folks.
it's a good thing today.
What's pile driving? Driving over a pile?
It's where you just bang it into the ground.
Yeah, they put pylons, like a post hole drive, pounding post.
Oh!
Steel I-beam where you
Like they
just
did,
drive it into
they
the
did that
ground.
in Upland to build a bridge.
Yeah.
Hammered that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should have about heard that from Upland when they
Yeah,
built
you
that.
should have heard that.
Okay.
I could hear it
Yeah,
right along the interstate.
Do we have something in the, I can't think of it, I'm sorry, the word's leaving me, in our fines section or our things that says if they do violate this section, what happens?
we have an enforcement piece.
Enforcement, that's the word I was looking
In
for,
this,
sorry. Yes, is
much
that,
later, about at the end of this ordinance, this document, we have enforcement.
okay, and in that enforcement, do we have anything on this pile driving deep compaction? Or do we need just to make note that we need to?
I
make sure
didn't get to the point where I looked at that today.
Okay.
Last
so-
time I looked at it was 2 months ago. Or
So make note on, of
So we're gonna
enforcement on that.
make sure it applies to enforcement here.
I expect we'll do a lot of work in that, on the enforcement section.
For sure.
Okay, everybody go to 15?
Should the board be changed to BZA?
Yes. Everybody good? Moving to 16. Pretty good? Okay. Any comments, everyone? Okay. 17.
Do you let the people speak?
You know, I need to do that. Thank you for reminding me. Can we do it when we get to M?
Yeah,
Yeah, because that is going to give us the opportunity to let people talk on L, which would be traffic and construction management. So yes, we will entertain public input once we get through letter L. Thank you.
which number are we on again? I'm sorry, 17?
17.
Should be 16.
You got it with 16?
Yes, 16 was good.
The word may require a bond. We already required a bond for
Scratch.
construction,
Yeah, scratch letter of credit.
correct, or other
Yeah.
financial assurance. Should it, and may should be shall require a bond.
Everybody go with that?
Yeah, I think shall.
To the satisfaction of the county. Should that not say to the county highway department?
I've seen that too. There's a lot of places where it just says county, and I need to shore those up on where that needs to go. That's too vague.
Yes.
Anywhere it says county,
And
I've already noted that that's too vague. It needs to go, it needs to be more specific. Sometimes it's highway department, sometimes it's BZA, and sometimes it's APC.
Correct. So this one should be changed to a highway.
could also make a little change of 5A, surety bond,
Yes.
not just
Yeah,
surety bond.
Anything else on 17? Okay, 18.
Should we put developer in there as well? Should we put all of this on the executive director, or should it also go to a board?
I'm thinking this is just a record.
So, okay.
We're
So
putting
you're
it in the
looking at it as a
files,
record.
this is the final plans, this is what was done, to put it in the file for the record.
Okay.
Really for, at the very end, they'll get a certificate of occupancy,
Okay,
right? That this was all done, we went out, looked at it, and this is the way it does look. I don't think there's an approval piece in 18.
okay.
We good with 18? 19.
May should be shall, or no, actually, no, it should not. That one should stay as a may. My apologies.
I think that needs to be reworded. Todd, are we always going to be requiring the approval and signature and date of these as-built drawings?
One more time.
Is the director always going to be signing off on these as-built drawings?
Yes,
I think he should.
before he issues a certificate of occupancy.
The director, the inspector.
It could be, this thing could be reworded for literary purposes, but I think you should reword this to where all those plans, as-built drawings, whatever, will be signed, and I use will specifically, will be signed by the executive director.
So that way
And
no
the
one
rest of
else
it's
can.
fine.
So that way they just can't come up to your office and get a stamp.
I could really complicate things. There's been times when we didn't have an executive director, so you want and/or designee.
Will be an acting, right? We always had an acting.
Well, we hope to.
So who did it fall to in the absence of the executive director? Did it fall to the BZA?
No, we did an interim.
Okay.
He's right. We did have somebody identified as the interim. Yeah. Okay, we good with this then?
Shouldn't this one have developer in it too?
Probably should. Yes.
We also have and/or there. This is the final sign off.
We good with 19?
Is this 19 in here to just say that we got the as-built? Or is it in here to say they're okay? Because that's a lot to lay on somebody. I mean, if you're wanting a way to govern them, you can make that a governing, the as-bills. Say if there's something that somebody doesn't notice and they have problems with something, they come back and say, you knew about it. So I don't know is that kind of what that's for? Because I wouldn't want to alleviate them from any
obligation.
Yeah.
Well, I also would like to say, we should definitely require any of those drawings, all of those drawings, and absolutely require them to be recorded. So,
Yeah, the 18 and 19 are about documentation.
yeah, so where it says, after the executive director signs, the applicant, owner, blah, 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 shall record the survey, take out if required.
It should be
So it shall record with the county or with whatever.
Is the county, is that BZA, county highway?
I want them to be forced to submit these as-built to the county. However you want to word that.
Okay. I agree that it's not worded very well.
No.
But the point is, the documentation of the final plans is what is actually built. We had the plans that was approved by the special exception and the BZA, and then we have documentation that what they approved is what actually happened.
Yeah, so the way this says, if required by the county, I don't want the county to have an option to say, no, we don't want it. I want it required.
So if to as
Just take the if
required,
off.
or just take it out completely?
If required, just take that off.
Shall record the survey with the county.
So shall submit as-built drawings to the recorder's office. As required by whatever.
Okay, Todd's gonna reword it. Okay, we're gonna open up traffic and construction management for any public input. If you would, please come to the podium, sign your name, give us your name and address. Love to hear what you have to say. Now here again, I'd just like to keep this exclusive to this section, and you'll have the freedom to speak freely about data centers at the end of the meeting.
Dennis Carter, Wheeling Pike, Fairmount. Back on the deliveries. Is it not?
Turn the mic on. There we go, thank you.
Back on the deliveries, maybe splitting hairs, but delivery 7 to 5, but I'm telling you that there's gonna be a lot of trucks coming in there, and a lot of them trucks are gonna be interstate, over the road trucks. And them guys are gonna be sitting on your county roads from 1 to 2 o'clock in the morning on, unless they have a place designated to park. And it'll happen, I guarantee it. I drove for 20 years and I've sat just about everywhere trying to be there for a delivery at 7 o'clock in the morning. And it's something that you need to think about. I mean, after they get the process to going, they're gonna have some parking lots. But when the initial beginning of this thing starts, hopefully it never starts, but if it starts, that first couple of months, it's gonna be real sketchy on places for them guys to go. And it's something you need to be thinking about. And I know it's maybe not an ordinance thing, but you gotta think about it, because I'm telling you, them guys will be coming in anytime after, well, anywhere from 5 o'clock on. They'll be sitting on the side of the road all night, waiting for that delivery. And I just want you to be thinking about it.
So Todd, we need to add something in there that says that delivery trucks are not allowed to park anywhere other than designated semi-tractor truck parking areas, not along the highway, something of that nature. I think that's what Denny's saying.
Yes, and that's something that the developer or the contractor is going to have to make sure it's on the paperwork, so as that driver knows that there's no place for him to go until that delivery time.
And law enforcement can ticket them if they violate that.
Well, if they don't know about it, I mean, it's just,
Okay,
truck drivers are a different breed. They want to be first in line, they want to be there, they want to be rested, they want to be ready to go. And unless they know differently, they're going to be there. That's just, I just want you guys thinking about it.
Well, in the way of
Thank
the
you.
truck, in the way of the truck sitting on the county road too, or highway or wherever is gonna cause more damage to it as well, so.
Thank you, Danny, that was important to hear that.
So I'm thinking to address that is we incorporate in the plans with a special exception.
They have to have a designated-
Parking is the number one thing they need to develop for everything that they're going to need at the beginning. At the beginning.
Yep.
Okay.
So they need to turn in a plan.
Yeah, plan with where those trucks are gonna be unloaded,
Yeah.
where they're gonna park.
With
When they arrive
established
early.
properties or agreements or whatever.
Okay, anyone else?
Thank you.
Jocelyn Whitaker, 2503 South Valley Avenue. Some of these will be rewording and others will be semantics that you need to bring in line if you're gonna be. Let's start with rewrites. The information I put down for rewrites were number 3, number 5, number 12, number 18, number 14, number 13, and number 19. To bring them in line that will be shall and not may, and to have it legally in line with everything else, which would be the zoning board, would start with number 8, and that would be instead of board, EZA, and instead of may, it's shall. Moving right on down the bottom over number 15, under probably line 5, board, it should say EZA. Number 17 should be brought in line with line 2, it says may. It should be, from my perspective, if you're gonna be in line legally, it should say shall instead of may, because you're giving people leeway to decide whether they're gonna follow through or not. Where you're being specific, let's be specific all the way through. So there is no question. 18, I've already discussed the rewording, and also 19 with rewording. Those documents need to be rewritten completely, so it brings in line what was being discussed. And there at 19, you talked about developer, you talked about the board, and then executive director may approve, will approve, not may, so that it is documented. And may approve, will be approved and signed and dated by all 3 boards. You're leaving leeway to one person. And I'm not mad with the one person, but let's be in line with what we are doing. If you go back to number 15, you're looking at enforcement under that document. And how will that be brought in line with the legal list of what has to be done? Number 14, the developer. Who will enforce the policy? And that's where we talked about the survey, and it should spell out engage the survey. And number 13, it should be planned, implemented. And you're talking about measuring of dust and so on. The area for parking has already been discussed with with the speaker before me.
It's a great review. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And I'll sign in that I was here.
So I'm thinking in 19, because we talked about that, whether may or shall. We don't want to say shall approve, because then that makes us have to approve. It's we shall approve or disapprove.
Okay.
That gives the director the option of, but he is going, the the director will do one or the other to keep the record clear.
Okay?
Is that,
So
I think that was a very good point.
you're in line 3 on the May, on line 3? Is that where you're
Yes,
addressing that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
I had that note as well.
yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Winter.
Anyone else?
I need to know. Hello, I'm Angelita Hall, 3740 South Booth Street. And I'd like to know who approved these data centers, if they were approved, or you're just having these meetings for ordinances in case they are approved. And who are these companies that want to come into Marion? What are their names and who's the owners?
Good question.
We would like for somebody to tell us that.
Who is having you guys come here and do this?
Well, it's the Area Planning Commission's responsibility to write an ordinance. And I think, here again, I'm going to state this, that whenever a city has an incorporated area, we, the county, have no jurisdiction over what takes place in that incorporated area. We are only writing an ordinance that's going to apply to the unincorporated areas. So Marion has their own planning department. They would be the ones responsible for an ordinance associated with any data center or any development that goes within their incorporated area. Gas City has their own planning department. So they are responsible for any development that takes place in their incorporated area. Upland has their own planning department. Same word there. Now, there has been, there was expected that Marion would annex the area out that's proposed data center there by CIE. To my knowledge, that hasn't occurred. At least there's no public document that shows that Marion has annexed that to date. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. There is no public knowledge, no public black and white hearing stated that they are going to annex.
Has there been any money exchange between a data center and politicians?
You would have to ask that politician.
We'd like to know.
Who are the politicians that are doing this?
In county or in Marion?
All of it.
The county commissioners have placed a moratorium, so, you know,
Correct.
they're not. It's-
I live in this county and I want to know all the information. Who's the politicians that are doing this?
There are no politicians doing this as far as the commissioners go. There are no plans for a data center that we are aware of. There is no companies that have applied for anything. We don't know that there's any data centers coming.
In Grant County.
We are in the county.
I'd hold off on that right now.
What's it?
I'd hold off on that.
Well, that we know of.
Yeah, what is the knowledge? Because we're the people and we have the first right to know, to knowledge. So if you have knowledge, we have the right to know it. And I see your face.
There will be a
That you
little
do have
announcement
knowledge.
later about what's just been found out.
Please stay till the end of the meeting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, please stay till the end of the meeting, and you know, I'm gonna, with all the respect in the world, I'm gonna share with you that the discussion that we're having right now is what I've requested that we have at the end of the meeting, because we're really trying to get this ordinance draft discussed, and you know, we're taking the action of transparency here in order to get everyone's input and keep you guys informed. So there's no secrecy whatsoever taking place within the County Area Planning Commission and the county elected officials who are jurisdiction over the county. I can't speak to Marion, I can't speak to Gas City, I can't speak to Upland. You would have to attend their town meetings if you want those answers from them. We don't have those answers for you.
So nothing's been voted on.
Nothing has been voted on.
Right.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna.
Correct.
Please
Yes.
stay to the end of the meeting.
Okay, I will.
Now, here again, we're talking about L. I'm going to be pretty specific about this. We'd love to have general comments. I promise I will give you time for general comments.
Keith Coleman, 435 East Main, Gas City. Is IDM involved in any of this? Do they have any information that you guys have access to that we don't? Because when, I mean,
No.
wouldn't they be dealing with the storm sewage and the water runoff, or,
Our ordinance regulates that.
Yeah.
and any other department of environmental management don't? I mean,
Bud, can
I
you-
dealt with them and they're
Bud
not
is,
easy to deal with.
Bud's the water department at, tell you where IDM comes in. Here again, this is discussion for after the meeting.
Is it? I mean,
Yeah, we're really just trying to talk about, well,
okay.
so
I
please come
was
back
just
up.
curious.
Come back up.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
We're gonna give you that answer. So we've taken an hour to get through one section. Let's try and get through another section. Any other? Oh, yes.
Chris Parker, Huntington County. I did not take the pen this time. There's not a pen here and it wasn't me. Last time I got blamed. I visited the site in New Carlisle where there's a data center going up. Today I was down in Lebanon where there's a data center going up. I'd encourage you to visit some of those sites, talk to the residents. The gal who I talked to today talked about 24/7 construction, noise, and lighting. And those were concerns that they had as neighbors to the construction site. So as you talk about construction, truck staging, you might consider noise and transit by residents and be prepared for 24/7 construction unless you ordinance otherwise.
We just wrote it in here, Chris.
5 p.m.
I was here at 20 after.
You might want to return that pen.
Yeah, we got it in there.
And there is a draft ordinance.
Get a draft.
Here's an extra pen.
Perkins, 310 North Ohio Street. What I'm understanding is this moratorium is for county only. Should we also be looking at a city moratorium?
I would highly recommend that you call your city council representative if you live inside of Marion. I'm not sure what district you're in. You can always call, you're in one.
That's Gary.
It's Gary, yes. So I would recommend calling Gary. You can also call either of the at-large city council members, which is Brian Calgill and Jeff Reyes, and talk to them. Email the mayor in regards to that. 100%, because as a Marion resident, I agree with you completely as well.
Thank you, Rita.
We're trying to set an example for them.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay, all right, we are going to move on to M at the bottom of page 18, drainage agreement and road use and maintenance agreement. Am I on the right page here?
19.
That's the title at the bottom.
That's the
Yeah.
title at the bottom of page 18. So
Referring to 19.
the first one is on page 19 at the top. So we are now discussing drainage agreement and road use management agreement. Anything on number one?
You want to change the or to and their designees? Or just, I mean, I think the people that are responsible for the highway department,
We can,
you know, I think the highway department, you know, would be one of their designees, but I think the county commissioners are the right ones to ultimately approve that. Road use and maintenance agreement.
Doesn't know you need to go through anybody else prior to getting to the commissioners?
Well, that's their, I would say it's their designees. It needs to go through
Highway department.
highway department.
Harbor manager. Highway superintendent.
Yeah,
So take out designees being vague and specifically put and
Well-
designees or and highway department?
highway department and drainage board.
Okay. So county commissioners, comma, highway department, comma, drainage board.
Yeah.
Because we are specifically talking about a road use and a drainage agreement. Correct?
Yes.
Right.
We want the highway department or the highway superintendent? Whoever.
Yeah. Superintendent.
I'd say superintendent.
Would be
He's
best,
one of
wouldn't
those.
Yeah. So highway department, super.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the surveyor would present it to the drainage board, so you got them included there, so,
Yeah.
okay. Anything else on number 1? Okay, moving to number 2. Now, do we have a bond for drainage damage, or do we need one?
Yeah, there's bonding. I think this next section,
Okay,
no, it's not the next section.
everybody good with 2?
Yes.
Okay, 3?
Public infrastructure.
Comments on 3? You good, Kale? Molly?
I think so. I'm just, because this is just road use and maintenance. It's not like, but it does say public infrastructure. So do we have anything about residential infrastructure?
Would residential fall under the public?
No, that's private. But what infrastructure is located in the rights of way, public rights of way?
What do you think that's implying, Todd?
I mean, I guess you could have a drain. That would be,
That's number 4.
right.
But it seems like it's awfully broad,
Yeah,
right?
it just
That would
is.
cover, they roll off the road and just, from a drainage standpoint, their infrastructure around where your water comes in to a tile just goes under the road. They'd repair that.
That would still be
But that's in the
covered under-
agreement. I mean, this whole section is about what is it should be in the agreement.
That would be in the rights of way, which is covered anyways.
Maybe if their truck rolls off the road and goes out in your field and sinks and damages a tile,
Well, then it becomes a civil matter after
a civil
that
matter.
anyways.
But I know we're running a line there, but in the civil matter, at least we're giving you support.
We good? Number 4. You good, Ed?
Yeah.
Bud?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4. Now, do we want developer in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
And at the very end, where it says, unless repair is rendered impractical by weather or other natural conditions, I think we should continue that in saying, in which case, a planned schedule for repair shall be provided.
I agree.
Because we don't want to just let them off the hook because Mother Nature wouldn't let them do it at that time.
How do you guys enforce that? I mean, we just had Surf Internet come through here, and they still have to repair the roads and that stuff. How do you guys, they do this and they don't repair anything? Who enforce, I mean,
Well,
can't even get Surf Internet to come back and fix the roads.
that needs to be complained to the commissioners. The commissioners, before these commissioners signed off on the internet agreement that's been taking place with Spectrum and all the internet stuff that's going in, that wasn't the current commissioner's approval. That was, well, Ron was on there, but the other two weren't. Yeah, I would share that in a commissioners meeting. So, Cale, you said what he planned?
Some sort of a planned schedule of repairs need to be provided to whomever.
Okay. Anything else on 4?
It's more like if it's delayed, not rendered impractical. It's just unless it is delayed.
I agree with that.
Natural weather conditions or something, and not
Delayed.
I agree, rendered impractical should be delayed.
Okay. Anything else on 4? Can you guys hear us? Everybody hear us? Okay.
Is 3 months a standard time with other areas that we've had this in prior to? Other construction that's gone on in the county from a repair standpoint? Is that standard?
I don't know. I have no reference for the 3 months. Seems like a long time. Seems like plenty of time.
Correct.
That seems like plenty of time to be able to safely mark out the impractical weather piece.
Right.
If you can't get something fixed in 3 months, you're not trying.
You want to reduce it?
You see 90 days once in a while. That's basically what this is.
Right. Yeah, I think it's fine. I just wanted to didn't know if that was a standard across the board.
I suppose this construction will be going on year round.
Yes, it would be.
So, and sometimes the winter's a little messy in the spring.
Okay, we're moving to 5. We're going to add developer.
Did we decide what an indirect result was?
Anybody have an opinion about an indirect result?
Broadens things out.
Correct. I agree. I'm just wondering.
We could put that and try to define it in definitions.
I think that might be good, maybe under the definition section, try to define what an indirect result is.
Yeah, I mean, you could plug up a culvert and then cause flooding.
Right.
Which is, it'd be kind of indirect if it's flooding somebody's property,
Developers do that all the
but they
time.
did cause it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Why can't we prohibit that rather than giving them a leeway of 3 months? Why can't we just prohibit that? Say you shall not damage infrastructure system and to return it to pre-existing condition. It should be maintained all the time.
Yeah. I mean, the trucking end of it can damage some things too, and the construction equipment. You know, I've been on job sites and the construction equipment will tear something up and, you know, it's got to be fixed then.
yeah,
So that, you know, they have to fix it. And when you get on a job site with multiple contractors, it becomes a which one of you guys tore up that culvert?
mhm.
And then you better have a way of proving it or none of them did it. And it just turns into kind of a fight. So,
Yeah, can't we say something like, these systems, should be maintained as is the whole time during construction?
So add that in there prior to the
And then do
system,
away
the
with
damage.
Yeah,
I agree.
just saying, there shouldn't be a delay. It's the cost of doing construction.
So are you on number 4 or on number 5?
I'm back on 4, but
Okay.
it does pertain to 5 a little bit.
do you want to cut it to 30 days?
I'd say maintained always, I wouldn't give them any time.
Well,
Just saying, that's what we
Yeah.
do in town. You gotta maintain that, or we don't have drainage. We got problems if we don't have drainage.
yeah. And sometimes it takes a little while to get a replacement.
Yeah.
And then remember what this section is. This is outlining
An agreement.
what they should do for the agreements, within the agreements.
It has to be approved by the BZA, right?
These agreements, where we have that, are by the county commissioners.
Okay.
So you guys were good with that. Which kind of surprised me, but
We'd like for you to come up, but I'm a nice guy.
At first stage in the construction, you know, whoever's doing whatever, at whatever stage, there should be just one contractor doing that stage. So if you could just control some of that by knowing which contractor did it, but only letting one contractor at a time.
And we can't, unfortunately, we can't control that.
Take a lot longer too.
We wish we could, but that may not be reasonable.
No, it is reasonable. My dad was a subcontractor, and it is, you can do that.
Okay. Take that under consideration.
so to be clear, with this section of basically a business agreement between the county and the companies, the county representative for business agreements would be the commissioners.
Right.
Is that correct? We agree on that?
They do.
Okay.
The jurisdiction branch.
So, so we don't have anything about continued maintenance in any of these numbers. Just, it looks like it's just damage to Bud's point, like. Or do we need to put a point in there that states regular maintenance should be maintained according to normal standards or however, whatever that is? And in the event of damage, you have X number of days to repair.
So there's two steps to that process, right? There's the damaged in the days that it's still damaged. And then there's return to original condition or better, right?
Right.
So both of those should probably be in that.
Does that make sense, Todd?
Should we mandate any temporary remediation if they damage something that could cause more damage if the drainage overflows? They need to have some sort of temporary fix in place to leave it for the time being until they can replace and repair it to actual condition.
I hear you.
They have insurance or they could make a deposit or stuff like that.
Number 6 covers that surety
Yes.
bond.
So so the rewording is going to happen for 4 and applying it to 5 for regular maintenance, correct? So are we ready to move to number 6?
We are.
Okay,
Thank you, Gary.
so take out letter of credit or other financial assurance
Right?
Yes.
in an amount determined by the Grant County Drainage Board. Payable as directed by the county. Does county need to be more specific
Yeah.
than?
Todd's gonna work on that.
Drainage survey.
He's gonna try and
Yeah, anywhere there's just the word county, I'll get these things straightened
Okay.
out. That's too vague. It's all over the place.
Anything else on 6?
No.
You good with 6, Cale?
Yep.
Bud?
Yeah.
Ed? Good. 7, here we go.
Just the word county, just making note of it at the bottom, the last word.
Yep.
We good with 7?
Yep.
Number 8.
Take out the part based on substantial evidence.
Yes.
We good with 8?
Yes.
Okay, we good?
To remove the.
Yes, we
Okay.
remove, based on substantial evidence. Take it out of 8. Everybody good?
Yep.
All right, number 9.
Add developer. This goes. I made a note here of potentially adding environmental cleanup.
What was that again?
Making a note of adding environmental cleanup to that list.
Does that fit into drainage agreement? Or do we have that somewhere else?
Well, if they're dumping into the county drain and it environmentally impacts it,
We've already covered that in the past.
Where at?
I don't know, 2 meetings ago? We covered something like that, environmental aspect of it.
Okay, so we're gonna make a note that we're gonna check to make sure that we have environmental impact coverage.
yeah.
Does it pay for a filter for each of our faucets?
If only.
Well, it should, because that's one of the thing, but it's causing contaminants, foreign water through the showers, through everything. And we don't want that. I don't want to be showering in shit.
Okay, note taken.
Okay.
Number 10,
Oh, yeah, change note 3 to 10, actual, the numeral. This should, or am I on the wrong page?
we're on
No.
page 20. Right up there, yeah, page 20. We're on number 10 and 20.
I'm on the wrong page. Add developer, obviously, I know I keep
Developer?
saying it, but just wanted public acknowledgement. And
Now, we do talk about pre-construction condition there in number 10. Or better.
yes.
Okay, change developer on 10. Any other questions on 10? Comments?
No.
You good, Kale?
Good.
Holly?
Yes.
Ed?
Yep.
Okay, number 11, we're going to take out letter of credit or other financial assurance.
I made a note that it shouldn't take every 5 years to review. I think it should be reviewed less than that. I don't know an exact number, but less than that.
It's a reasonable number.
3 years.
A year?
A year.
Okay. 1 year?
How does a resident access the surety bond when there's damages? How do they go about that?
That's a civil matter.
Of course.
You gotta get a lawyer.
Yeah, you gotta sue them. Who do they sue?
I hear what you're saying.
You shouldn't have to go to court. There should be an application process, just like the owners go through. Easy sneezy.
That's what the legal system is for.
Yeah.
Well, there is a complaint procedure in here.
Yes.
We'll get to it.
It's not tonight.
Did you hear that? There is a complaint procedure later on into this ordinance that gives you as a resident the opportunity to share your concerns, which would be damages or impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And we should be able to access the surety bond for damages.
Okay.
I'm good with,
There is an account for that.
yes.
We have an account for that, Mr. Hartman says.
How do we access it?
Through the complaint procedure.
Okay.
Take this home and read it tonight, the whole thing.
I will. And I'm passing out, I'm taking that whole stack and I'm giving it out to everybody I can give it to. I talked to, and remind them it's county, not city. Well, city is county, and I talked about.
No, it's not.
Talked about 100 people today.
Can we get through this section, please, and hold the comments till the.
2 more points.
All right, number 12. Then we're going to open this up.
Wait.
Good with 11, moving to 12. Obviously adding developer.
Yep.
Todd, I think I've read A probably 10 times. Can you tell me what it is this is specifying?
Guessing we're gonna make that developer also.
Yeah.
Yes. Including Hinton.
We're talking about drainage and at the expense of the owner, applicant, developer, that they will hire an appropriate inspector.
That is very confusing.
I agree.
Instead, what it's meant to do is put the burden of cost on the developer, not on the county.
Let's reword that a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. But you agree with the point?
Yeah.
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 It's under the direction of county surveyor,
Correct.
and it's at the expense of the developer, applicant, owner, or operator.
If an inspector is needed for any reason, that they pay for it, not the taxpayer. Okay.
Yeah, so anything the surveyor feels needs to be done, they're gonna pay for it,
Correct.
is what that says.
That was, yeah. It doesn't say it very well, but that was the intent.
Work on that, Todd.
Okay.
So on B, the county surveyor automatically has to report to the drainage board, correct? So we don't need to add drainage board?
It doesn't report to the drainage board.
Well, not report
According
to,
the
but,
county surveyor.
because I would think that if a drainage improvement is going to be made, not just the surveyor should be notified, the drainage board should be notified.
The county surveyor's office tracks all those records of improvements, and if they've made a new drain, he has all those, or she has all those records. That office keeps those records.
He's kinda like the reporter to the drainage board.
Correct.
So in other words, this
Every
is
project each 2-week period, because they meet twice a month.
Right.
So it's the second and the last week of each month,
Yeah.
and he reports all projects to them.
That's what I was trying to say, not reports to, but he reports all the projects to the drainage
To
board.
the
So we
drainage
don't,
board.
we don't need to add drainage, the word drainage board in there.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Todd's gonna work on the wording at 12, we're moving to 13. BZA, the board. I think that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm feeling really accomplished tonight. We're gonna go on. There's only 3 of the next section, and I'm gonna feel really good about getting through 3 sections. So before we open it, okay, we'll open this up to public comment. Let's do that for drainage agreement, road use, and maintenance agreement. And then our goal is gonna be to get through N, and then we're gonna open it up for public discussion in general. Anybody like to speak to drainage agreement, road use, or maintenance agreement? Hearing none. Okay, we're gonna move on, and we're gonna quickly see if we can get through physical responsibility, which there are 3 of those.
So here we say permittee. Does permittee mean to be developer or just add developer? Developer or permittee?
The person who has applied for a permit.
And that could be any or all of those, right, Todd?
Correct, so just change it to just that, to make it a little less wordy. Is that what you're saying?
Just leave it.
Well, we're asking for a financial report, you know, and to make a little evaluation of, can they actually complete this project?
Right.
You know, do they have the financial ability here?
So we should add developer and leave permittee.
At developer, we could use applicant.
I don't know that we would be okay with just one of them turning in their financial information.
Right.
Is it one?
All of them.
So applicant, owner, operator, developer, or permittee.
Or and.
And permittee.
And.
Yeah, and.
Okay,
I agree.
And
that's what, there we go.
Anything else on one?
Shall.
There's that.
It's at the beginning and no, we want to leave that in there.
You want to leave May in?
Yes, because it says right after that, at its discretion.
Yes.
Okay. All right, moving to 2.
Just add developer.
Change
Okay.
board.
Board BZA.
May,
Shall.
No,
That's on
That's
May.
we
That's
want to leave it May.
It's if the other one doesn't exist.
Gives them the option.
Other suitable financial information or documentation.
Developer. Did we already say that?
Yeah. And.
And
Now, are we comfortable that we have everything noted that they need to show financial responsibility for? And this is at the top of page 21.
that's where I also wanted to add environmental cleanup.
Just take out the whole, after the requirements of this chapter, remove the rest of it. Because that encompasses everything that we have added.
That's right.
Everything after that.
No, after it says, comply with the requirements of this chapter, which is line 4.
Right.
Remove everything after chapter because everything in this chapter would encompass everything within that chapter. We don't want to.
Just to ensure we've covered everything in this chapter. But it's saying that we have, right? If it's in a chapter, because it's exclusive to what's just in the chapter.
But it is not limited. This agreement, it's saying it is not limited. In case something not listed here comes up, it can still apply.
You could just say, with the requirements of this ordinance, and cover the entire thing.
I don't think we want to take not limited out, because we're going to sit here and figure out what could come up that we weren't able to discuss today or think about.
And your point of taking that out would be what?
So we're not holding ourselves, like if we're not chaining ourselves to a specific list of items. If we say, comply with the requirements of this ordinance, it encompasses literally everything in the ordinance. We're not leaving anything out. They can't come back and say, hey, well, you didn't say environmental, so we're not liable for environmental. If we say the entire ordinance, it's the entire ordinance.
Well, and that's why we have the including but not limited to.
We're going to leave not limited in.
I understand. But you can cover everything and not have all that. You don't want to leave carve-outs for anything.
They'll put up black.
That may be a question for our attorney.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this will all go through legal review.
Yeah.
Run by
Before we see it all again.
The whole thing.
Okay,
Did we make a note for adding environmental cleanup to that?
we can. We're going to add environmental cleanup. All right, moving to 3.
I'll make that note, Bill.
Yep, we got that note.
Again, shall, we're not asking permission.
We want may or shall there?
Shall.
Well, it's up to us to decide what we
Yes,
do.
at least that gives it the discretion to us.
That's correct.
Anytime it comes from us.
Okay.
And what do we, Todd, what is the purpose of the term lawfully in there? Is there an unlawful request of financial information? Could there be?
Yeah, there could be.
Could be, I could have did.
I mean, we don't have, I'm not quite sure where the line is.
Yeah, well, it
As far-
might be, we can't request their tax returns.
Yeah, I was thinking
So
your
that might
personal
be
checking
proof
account.
Of their financial ability.
Yeah,
That one probably would be unlawful to demand that.
but we want to do everything right up to lawfully, right up to line.
Okay, I just want to know if there's a specific reason for it. That's fine. I don't have any.
Instead of defining the line, it's just saying we want to go to the line.
Okay, so on the word county, that one's not BZA, right? Because BZA doesn't do the financial side of it.
Commissioners.
So it would go to the commissioners or would it go to the council since they're the bank?
No, I think this goes to BZA.
Still, even though it's financial responsibility?
Yeah, the BZA needs to review this before they give the special exception.
Because in 2, it's the BZA
Yeah,
Okay.
asking for financial report.
Anything else on 3? Okay, any comments from the audience or public in regard to letter N, fiscal responsibility? Okay, hearing none. So I guess the question becomes, Mr. Glancy, do we want to hold the information you want to share till after we have general public discussion?
No.
Then have it again.
And then have it again? Okay, so let's have it now. Mr. Glancy,
I think we're going to end up there anyway. I think
let's go. Okay, I'm gonna make a note here that we are going to start where? Oh, on O.
Oh,
All right, next meeting.
volunteer.
yes.
July 6th is our next meeting, is that correct? July 8th.
Start it here.
July 8th, Todd?
Pass it along. Yes.
July 8th will be our next meeting at 6 o'clock, same location.
Do you want help?
Are we ready?
Let's go for it.
Okay, so before we start the overall public discussion tonight, the area, I just want to make this very clear. The Area Plan Office received an email from May Q on behalf of Record Digital. Record Digital stated that it is in the process of acquiring the existing crypto mining site in Grant County, and that it would like to convert that site into what is described as a quiet, permanent AI data center. This is the first communication the APC office has received concerning building or establishing a data center in Grant County. Because that county is actively discussing a data center ordinance, which we did tonight, and there is a moratorium in place, any communication related to a potential data center project should be handled openly. This email directly relates to that public discussion. And for that reason, and to be completely transparent, the APC office is placing the substance of the email into the public record tonight. And that's what's being passed around. We received the email. My reply back was, I received your email. That's all there is. The email also asks whether Record Digital could serve as a proof of concept or a pilot project while the county is working through the data center ordinance and moratorium process. The APC office and the Area Plan Commission want to be very clear about what this email is and what it is not. This email is a public communication received by the Area Plan Office. It is not an application. It is not an approval. It is not a pilot project designation. It is not a waiver of the moratorium. It is not an authorization for construction, staging, conversion, expansion, or any change of use of the cryptocurrency, the current site. So any further request involving this site would still have to go through and be reviewed under the applicable zoning ordinance, moratorium, permit requirements, inspection requirements, and any public process required by law, which we're working through tonight. The reason this communication is being placed in the public record tonight is very simple. This topic is important to Grant County, and the APC office intends to handle communications related to potential data center development openly and transparently, while the county is still actively developing its regulations. The county's responsibility is to handle this process openly, fairly, and carefully. That means receiving information, keeping a clean public record, and making sure any further decisions follows the proper process. I'm kind of big on proper process. So proper process, transparency, and respect for the rule of law are not obstacles to economic development. They are the foundation for it. For Grant County to attract real, long-term, job-creating industry, then companies and citizens both need to know that the rules are clear, the process is fair, and the decisions are made in the open. And that is the standard the APC office and the APC Commission is committed to uphold. So at this point, we'll go into public comment, discussions, and any questions you may have.
Where is the actively crypto money site?
Come on out. We just want to make sure everybody can hear.
Can you sign in, please, too? Thank you.
Hi, Amy Schmidt. Where is the actively operating crypto mining site?
700.
What is that?
$69.
You guys know the exact number.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Dollar General?
Yeah.
Distribution and go down the road.
So it's out off 700 at 18 and 69.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank
So
you.
there's, you don't have an address, like an address.
I could Google it for you, but I don't have it off the top of my head now.
I do have another quick statement. I should have came up when we were talking about L. When we are talking about starting deliveries at like 7 a.m., that's when kids are getting on school buses, and there's large delivery trucks going to be coming through and delivering things and that kind of thing. So we need to think about kids and school buses and safety. So
That's a good point.
Good point.
Thank you.
We'd rather have them at night to offset routes for just.
Anyone else? Please come to the podium if you would, please.
So, I wonder, go ahead, sir. For their first. I just was wondering if the mayor had anything to do with this. Just a question just keep popping in my brain next.
With what?
With the information of the digital, of the center thing.
The cryptocurrency center,
That one's county.
it is actually on county property. That is not annexed to Marion City. Marion City limit stops about a mile, I believe, from where that center is located.
So closer to Gas City?
No, it's off of State Road 18 and I-69.
When was it put in,
But
the crypto?
It's been there.
It's been a few years.
A few years ago.
2 years ago?
No, more than 2.
Yeah.
A few. I can't pin it down.
What's the acreage on?
just a few acres.
12, 17?
Oh, I don't think it's that much. I think it's like 5, something like that.
I was thinking.
Don't quote me on that. I'm taking a guess on that.
Yeah, it's not that big. And basically, to describe it, it's like semi-containers with file servers in them.
Yeah, so small shipping containers, and there's 40 of them.
Right.
They're 8 by 20.
And they're by the substation there. If you look towards the substation to the north of 18, it's right by the substation because that's where they're pulling their power. And they were consuming as much power as the grid would give them when they first went in. They wanted to expand, so the grid gave them more power for expansion, but I believe that they're topped out with what they can pull.
I don't think they expanded. They've done one phase. What's been permitted in the past, the permitting process started in 2022. I don't have a record when they actually became operational.
They started with 2.
But the phase 1 was the 40 units that they currently have. Phase 2 was, they wanted to plan phase 2. I have no records of a phase 2, and there is no phase 2. So why that happened, I don't know. I have no records on why that happened.
And to follow through with transparency about discussions that have taken place with the Area Planning Commission, we have discussed whether we need a cryptocurrency ordinance that stands alone from a data center ordinance, or whether they are similar enough that they could be combined into one. The position that I hold at this time is that we need a cryptocurrency ordinance that's separate from the data center ordinance, because if we file them together, that outfit could be grandfathered in and would not be held accountable for the regulations that we're discussing right now.
Correct.
So in order for them, if they were to file for a data center, in order for them to be held accountable for what we are developing now in an ordinance, it would have to be separate from a cryptocurrency. We cannot include cryptocurrency. That's full transparency, folks.
Yeah, separated.
Yes.
This Record Digital, that's a company, correct?
Yes.
How many digital centers have they built that we can tour to see how quiet they are? Since they're claiming they're so quiet, because that is a main big complaint, that they're louder than trains coming through.
Yes.
And not only that, they contaminate the water, and it affects the animals, affects everyone. And we're not looking forward to it. I've talked to almost 100 people today. Nobody was in favor of it. All down Highway 9. All business people. Nobody wants a data center.
Well, we're a fishing and hunting community, and we don't want that. That's
Yeah.
something that
It's not life sustaining.
What I want to make sure that everybody understands, and we'll continue to repeat this every meeting, the ordinance draft that we're reviewing and have reviewed for the last few weeks is only relevant to the unincorporated area of Grant County. Okay? I don't know what the regulations are established in the incorporated area of Marion Gas City. If you live in those incorporated areas, I would be asking those questions
Now, do
to
you
your
think
county, or
because,
to your city council members and your mayor.
do you think because I live in the city, what's in the county does not affect?
No, I'm not going to say that. No, I don't know, depending on where it is at. I mean, there's a lot of those unknowns.
Well, the city is in Grant County.
Correct.
When I put my paperwork together, I have to list my county. My county is Grant County, and I realize it's outside the city, but county is county, and that's a Grant County courthouse. I live right down the street from.
We just have no jurisdiction in this city.
Correct.
That's their.
We're not asking about the city, we are talking about the county.
It
I live
depends
in
on
Grant
what we're
County.
talking.
I live in Grant
Hold on.
County.
Hold on.
We'd like for you
You
to come
get
up,
to come up and speak at the microphone so you're on the record.
That's all I have to say because, if they're claiming to be such a quiet data center, I have a hard time believing that. And where's their record? Where's their building record? Where's their buildings? Are they just popping up? Who are they? They're not here. I'd like to see them. Are they cryptocurrent? Are they just an overnight millionaire popping up wanting to hide their money? I have a lot of questions about it, and it's.
So do we. Keep that in mind. This is all new to us as well. This was an application email requesting an application. This was not saying they're coming, they're building, that it's been approved by anyone in Grant County. So that's the big thing that I think that the public right now needs to understand. However, in understanding that, write every single concern that you have down and bring it to any meeting that you have and go to. I live inside city limits just as you do, but I live in Grant County, correct? This is a hard pill to swallow as a city citizen. The city of Marion, city of Gas City, Upland, they have their own ordinances that are separate from the county. The county can only control what has not been annexed by any city. I encourage everyone sitting here today, whether you live inside a city limit or not, to do the same thing. Go to the city meetings and bring your voices too, okay? Because it affects all of us regardless if you live in the county or live in the city. So
this company has to have a track record, or I'm not interested in to be a part of our county.
I would encourage you to do as much research as you can.
Well,
No.
I don't know.
No, they're not.
Bitcoin is.
The Bitcoin, but if you read this email, okay, and what is stated here, it blatantly states they are currently acquiring and actively, so they don't own it yet. They are in the process of purchasing the Bitcoin and want to get rid of it and turn it into an AI data center.
Right. So because if we let them do that, we're
Come on up.
We're trying to keep
Come
order.
on up.
Please, I'm supposed to hold order. I need your cooperation in order to hold order in the meeting.
Sorry, Rita Perkins again, Marion, Indiana. So who is the person who says, no, you're already a Bitcoin, we don't want you turning it into a data center facility. If they're granted to turn it into a data center, doesn't that throw the moratorium out and open it up to other data centers?
Well, they couldn't be granted any permitting with the moratorium currently in place, okay? So the big thing that you have to understand, there are 2 documents currently in place in Grant County, okay? That, again, does not cover annexed land. So currently, the APC could not grant them any permitting. So they will have to wait until this ordinance is complete and then follow the rules if they then choose to try to do what they are asking here.
Is there any talk about trying to get that area annexed into the city?
We haven't heard any, but that doesn't mean it won't be tried.
This is brand new.
Okay.
I mean, that is
You're
that is
hearing
a
it for the
concern.
first time is,
Yes.
I'm hearing it for the first time.
The county can also not stop any annexation.
Only the property owners or landowners can do such.
Oh, not the city, just the landowner?
No, if the city chooses to annex, there's no such thing as a forced annexation. They can request the annexation by volunteer, and if they have, according to Indiana State Code, if they have enough of those property owners willing to be annexed, they can annex that land. However, if they have the opposite, where annexation and there's enough property owners that say, no, I don't want this, or adjacent property owners, to my understanding, a referendum is filed and it can help stop the annexation process.
Okay.
That referendum worked
Correct.
for judicial review.
Here are the counties. There are counties in Indiana that have put a moratorium in. And you can look it up. Cities in Indiana with moratoriums.
And when they got their moratoriums, there's 2 counties in Indiana that had a year or 2-year moratorium, and the council is the one who put a total ban on data centers.
Correct. In the very beginning of all this, I will be flat honest, I was 100% for a complete and total ban. Because I don't like them, I don't want them. However, upon legal counsel outside of this county and speaking with them, I have been informed that a total ban is not as strong as a good, strong ordinance that puts limitations on. A total ban basically kind of says to any company coming, well, we're picking and choosing, which we are. However, I guess the best way to say the words is it doesn't hold as much water in court as an ordinance would. Does that make sense? Okay, so the ordinance is the strongest way to go for that. So for any county, any city, any of that.
Okay. All right, thank you. I don't have to sign this again, do I?
No.
Okay.
I'd just like to clarify something that was said, because this email is not an application.
Oh, my apologies.
Okay? And I received the email. I answered back that I had received it. And if they want to participate, whatever company it is, in this process and bring up that they want to be a pilot project or have input into our ordinance process, they can show up here and be part of the public comment as anyone else would. So that's my advice to the companies. If they want to come in, we're not doing this behind the door. This is all going to be completely transparent. So if they want to participate, they need to come to the APC, these subcommittee meetings, to make their proposals, not to the director. Okay? Just wanted to clear that up.
Sorry, Todd.
Good evening. Michael Duke, Grant County. For what it's worth, I've got a couple of things to say here, but for what it's worth, I live about 1.5 miles away from the location of this Bitcoin center. And anyway, but first, let me say kudos for bringing the issue of this request into the sunlight immediately. Even though it's dated the 15th, I mean, we're several days beyond that, but it's still, you're bringing it to the public's attention and putting it out there and making it, I think, as transparent as possible. You know, just kind of, having said that, I do have a question about looking at the memo and the 2 black marks, i.e. a redaction of information. I would ask that you speak to why, and given it's an address and it identifies an individual, but why that was redacted. I assume it has something to do with a legal opinion that has been gained as to why you would not want that information there right now. That kind of, it's just a question that I'm raising, again, in the vein of wanting it to be as transparent as possible.
I'll allow Mr. Clancy to answer that if he chooses. If he chooses not to, I'm going to honor that as well.
I thought it was best to redact the email address. With the current temperature of the county, I completely understand it, that they would receive a large amount of hate email. And I didn't think that that was be productive. That is public information. If you want to file a APRA request for that email address, I will oblige and provide it to you. So you are welcome to email me that. But I'd like to it's just a cooling time to cool things down. If you still want it, I'll provide it to you instead of everybody going home tonight and sending off a maybe not so thought out hate email to an individual that's just doing their job, whatever it may be.
And as president of the Area Planning Commission, I support Todd's decision.
Thank you. And just for the purpose of the people here in the room, I also sit on the Board of Zoning Appeals for the county. And I think that's a fair explanation as to why that action was taken. Because I know this is a volatile issue and there's a lot of strong feelings, many different ways on the issue. But I've been an advocate for transparency about the issue of data centers, both at the city as well as here at the county for a good long time, as some of you are aware. In respect to this particular memo, I would offer two questions. Looking at the name of the individual sending the email, it certainly sounds like an Asian name to me. But not knowing that, I would think that if any discussions are, now let's just say, I would think we should be mindful of the nationality of the entity that is bringing this issue to our county. And I say that in the context of things that I have talked with you Randy, and Ed in the past about the Indiana code that precludes the ownership of property by certain nationalities that are designated as, I want to say, threats or subversive entities in the context of national security. And I have had in my mind for a long time that the existing owner of this Bitcoin operation, in that it is public record. It was printed in the Marion Chronicle Tribune 3-4 years ago when the data center was, or that Bitcoin operation was reviewed, that he was a Chinese national. State code says that, and China is one of these foreign nationals that are precluded by state law from owning property adjacent to, next to public infrastructure, critical infrastructure sites, which an electrical substation is a critical infrastructure. It's not exactly a military installation, but it is a critical infrastructure by state code. So I'd be mindful of the nationality of whoever comes along and may try to acquire it. And that should be some hard questions that should be asked. And if necessary, elevate the issue to review by I think the appropriate entity to review that would be the state's Attorney General, Todd Rokita, for evaluation and disposition of an opinion on that.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Jacob Essinger, Grant County. I'm going to come with a controversial opinion and then one that's not so controversial. I'm a software developer by trade, and I work in these data centers as my employment. So I understand what they do and the necessity that they have within our growing economy. That being said, we need to make sure that they are good citizens like we are. So I'm very glad to see that we're putting some pretty strict statutes around them to make sure that they are a good neighbor to the rest of us. I can't just dump a bucket of paint thinner down the drain. I've got to take care of it in the appropriate way. So do they. My whole idea, though, is that we need to hold them accountable for the utilities that they're going to be using too. I would hate to see them get special privileges to power and water and any other sewage that drives up my cost as a member of the community in Grant County. If they're going to use a terawatt of energy in a month, then they need to pay for it. I should not have my power bill reflect anything to do with them coming in. So I don't know if you guys have the authority or governance of that. I know that's probably a different board or a different governance object. But that's my goal, is to see if this is going to come in, if this is going to be a part of our community, it needs to be a good community member like I'm supposed to be. I can't just burn a ton of firewood outside and make my neighbors smoke out. I've got to be a good community member to my neighbors, and they should be doing the exact same thing.
And we've had discussions about whether we can put restrictions or regulation on utility usage.
I would hope that we can.
Ultimately, that would fall to the IURC though, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would recommend looking in. I know that the IURC has been holding some listening sessions regarding power bills lately. I would look into one of those and take your power bill with you, and they like literally go through it and everything. I've attended one online, so.
Okay, yeah, that's all I've got. I don't mind seeing them come in if they're gonna be a good neighbor. But if they're gonna be too noisy to their neighbors, if they're gonna be polluting the water, if they're gonna be doing any of that, they need to be held accountable or told to stop operating.
Thank you, Jacob.
Yeah.
Anyone else like to share in general?
I would trying to put data centers over here anyway. Because these are Chinese folks, right?
For the money.
Yeah, but
What else? That's a good question.
Am I allowed to give my opinion? Or should I hold it?
I've never known you to hold your opinion.
Get up there and on the record.
I would be happy to give you my email address and have that private conversation with you.
I appreciate it. I'm more excited anyway.
Absolutely.
Can you repeat your question? We couldn't hear it back here. What was the question of work?
It seems like these are Chinese people trying to come in here, and I'm not against, but I'm just trying to figure out, well, why they putting it in our backyard? I got
Plenty of space on their side.
Yeah.
Jack Bishop, 308 East 29th Street, Marion. Just a couple questions. I know you guys were talking about the corporate and the non-corporate stuff. So I'm kind of new to this. This is only my second town meeting, so I want to learn more. So who represents us on the corporate side then? If you guys are representing us on the county side, and Grant County is all the cities, who represents us on the corporate side then?
Well, you want to answer that?
Thanks, Randy.
I know I'm not a dummy. I'm gonna look a lot more of this stuff up later, right? And I want to get all of your names as well, because county commission, which means there's 3 districts, correct?
Correct.
So what is your name?
I'm Molly
Ed Hartman.
Ed Hartman.
Randy Atkins.
Randy.
Bud Shelton.
Bud Shelton.
Kale Grindle.
Okay, nice to meet y'all.
So, I guess the best way I can explain it is this, okay? This board is a subcommittee of the county area plan. Okay? We were formed by members of the area plan commission, and then some of the area plan commission gave up their seats. So individuals like Bud, myself, and Nolan, who's actually in the field, my guest tonight, could participate. I believe how that works is there has to be so many unincorporated lands, like some people who have county addresses, and then at least one incorporated. I represent that as the Marion city limits. However, what this is doing will not cover the city of Marion. Okay? City of Marion would have to develop their own ordinance because their jurisdiction, as weird as it sounds, when it comes to ordinances, supersedes a county in the annexed land. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but no. Because I think they do this on purpose to make it more complicated for
Molly, I
normal
think he
people
wants to
like
know who makes the decisions in
who's going to be the
incorporated area.
Yeah.
Oh, in the incorporated area, that is ultimately going to be the Marion City Economic Development would do the planning. They would send it then to the Planning Commission. Ultimately, then it would go to City Council and then to the mayor.
So if we're all totally against this thing, we're going to have to vote multiple times in different meetings and stuff like that.
If you live
basically.
inside of
We can't just like all
No,
vote.
so if you live inside of Marion city limits, you need to get in contact with your district. You said you live off of,
I live in city, so
Okay.
this really probably not going to affect me too much on that side of it, but it's still going to
So,
affect the community.
after this meeting, I will
It's going
help.
to affect us all eventually.
Correct, it will. After this meeting, I am happy to help you go to the City of Marion's website.
Yes.
And pull up your district map so we can see exactly what district you're in and who your representative is.
Okay.
Where do you live?
I live over by the Splash House, 38th Street.
No, that's,
That's District 5, yeah.
Okay, and like I said, I'm new to this stuff. I'm gonna learn some more tonight, so.
Absolutely.
And then at the beginning of this, just one more thing. Obviously, this email, I know I saw a couple things with the pilot project and different things like that, but actively operating and then permanent AI, these guys sound like they're here to stay. So any of the stuff you guys have as far as maintaining this stuff, if this thing does come through, I think they would have to be responsible as long as they are here and pay taxes and all that good stuff to help the community, so.
Sure.
So, when it comes to that kind of stuff, where would I do some research on that to see about the abatements and stuff like that?
So.
As far as this company in particular, if they're getting any tax. Yeah.
So.
They're not.
They're not.
This Bitcoin company applied for tax abatements with our county council. I attended that meeting when the county council voted it down.
Okay.
And did not give them tax abatement.
Okay.
So, you know, I would assume that they may do the same thing.
Okay.
If they apply for tax abatements with the county council.
Okay.
The county council is looking for companies that would provide a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't it.
Yeah. I'm a
Most likely
contractor. I
wanna
do
help.
remodel and stuff, so we need more work here. We need workshops for sure.
As far as state abatements, you can go to the state website and pull every single company that has a tax abatement with the state. I can tell you flat out that in the state of Indiana, in 2019, it was passed that data centers do not have any sales taxes for a period of time on any equipment that they purchase for their business.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
yeah.
All right, thank you. I think it was a good meeting. Thank you guys for your time. I'm gonna put the names down real quick.
Anyone else like to speak? I'd like to kind of know where we're headed here.
I know you're getting close to your time, but I think it's important to say this, and I'm not trying to speak on behalf of anybody else other than just one guy's opinion, and that is to the audience here tonight. As has been said, this working committee on behalf of the APC is to draft an ordinance for data centers for the county. But that words have been said about Marion and Upland and Gas City and who's the data centers. Have any names been heard at the level of the county? These folks have told you fact that there's no applications, there have been no overtures to the county for any kind of a data center project. But that may not be the case at the city, probably is not the case at the city, because as I've said before, the issue of data centers at the city council and at the mayor's office is probably one of the most talked about, knowledgeable secrets that there is something that is going on out west of Marion, behind the CIE project or facility.
Right.
That's so, it's not a secret, it's common knowledge, but there are individuals on the city council that will not talk about it, the mayor will not talk about it. For one aspect, they say they have signed non-disclosure agreements, so they cannot. That's an issue in and of itself. But what I would suggest to all of you, if you live inside, if you're concerned about what's happening in the city of Marion, or the city of Gas City, or Upland, not saying there is over there, but get your presence and your visibility made known to the city council members, to the mayor's office. Be visible there. Show up at their meetings. This is just one part of the whole cog, but it's important to get yourselves visible over at the city of Marion and knock on the doors of each city council member, whichever ward you live in, or any one of the at-large representatives, and make your opinions, your positions known to them, and demand of them to bring the issue of data centers in the city of Marion into the sunlight. Bring it out behind the closed doors where they're having this, where they probably are having the discussion. When I say that, I don't know for sure. I don't know what, I can't say that firsthand. That's my speculation based on what I've heard talked about in the community. So just get active and be vocal to those elected officials that are your representatives. They work for you. Your tax dollars pay their salary. Their allegiance should be to you, and they should be held responsible to bring the issue out into the daylight. I'm sorry, I didn't want to take away any of your bluster up there, gentlemen, lady.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
Am I allowed to ask you a question that's
You'd have to come up,
data
please.
centers?
Come on
Am
up.
I allowed to ask another question that doesn't pertain to data?
Sure. We're transparent.
Randy's feeling nice tonight.
Can someone answer the question that I called about to the county about not picking up brush in the county?
That's a commissioner.
Okay, and where do I go?
To the county commissioner meetings, which are held, Ed?
That's different from you guys.
Yes.
The three.
Okay.
The first and third Monday at 10 a.m. in this room.
Now, if it's the incorporated area of Marion, then you got to go to the Marion.
Well, it's Shady Hills, so it's county. And they always picked up brush before.
Okay.
And now they're saying because of this storm, they're not. So that just threw me off. I thought, how could just somebody make that decision just because of this storm?
You could ask the county administrator, Beth Winters, on the 6th floor of this building. If, just to maybe start the ball rolling a little bit, so you just don't hit them with a blindsided in a meeting and they don't know.
Okay.
But, that gives them a chance to figure out what's going on.
Thank you.
Okay.
Last one.
Last one. We're saving the best for last, Ed.
Yes, sir. Hey, look, this is only gonna be just a second. I just want to say,
Give your name, Ed.
Yeah, Ed Bounds, 1526 South Orange Street. Hey, I appreciate the patience tonight, especially from you, Mr. Atkins. A lot of people don't understand, and I just really appreciate, Molly don't always have patience. Like, people don't know her like I know her.
I'm trying to keep her under control, Ed.
And I was really proud of her tonight and how she handled and how informational she is. And Ed Hartman, you guys, I appreciate your patience with the citizens here tonight. This is something I don't see often. And I hope some elected officials take note of this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we will meet here again on July 8th, 6 o'clock. Thank you for coming.
Bounds?
Yeah. Click the song, Mr. Clancy.
Now.